Hey guys, welcome back. So it's a couple days after the last video, and I want to focus on taking the engine out of the frame today. Basically, it looks like there's 3 bolts to get the engine out, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up and drain the oil. There is one part that I missed from the last video. I wasn't going to do it, but after thinking about it, and rewatching the old video, I'm gonna take the whole airbox assembly out. I took the filter out, and after seeing what was in there, I really would just rather take the whole airbox out and clean it and get it out of the way. So it looks like that's gonna be one Phillips screw, and then just slide it with a couple dowels, so should be pretty good. Let's get you mounted up and see what we can do. Okay, so airbox is here. It looks like there's one Phillips screw here, and then it just slides out. So let's get a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, it's kind of a long guy, and let's just see. We should just be able to pull it out. There we go, from the dowel. There we go. So this is the dowel that kind of goes in the other end. And it just kind of looks like this is for the wiring here. And yeah, there's some chunkies in there. So I'm glad I took this out. You know, it's just one screw. That's not going to go back. So I'll thread the Phillips back in here a little bit again so it doesn't get lost. Okay. So now it's time for the engine. So let's go back to the other side. Okay, so it looks like there's 3 mounting points that I can see right away. One's down here, which is right kind of beside the shift knob. Okay, there's one in here which is a little smaller, and it's protected by this chain guard with the sprocket underneath, so I'm gonna have to take that off. And then there's gonna be, let's just see if I can, there's one guy right here. Let's just tuck this up and out of the way here for now. There we go. Good enough. Okay, so that should get the motor off, and then once it's out, I'm going to drain the oil. Because I want to go through everything. So let's go ahead and take this guy off. Now again, it's an Allen. I'm just going to kind of push this the other way so it's out of my way. It's an Allen, but I'm going to use a Torx screwdriver just because first of all, it's loose because I put this on when I put the chain on, so I didn't tighten it up because I knew I'd have to take it back off. Second of all, it fits, and as long as you're not putting a lot of pressure on it, it's fine. If I was really trying to loosen these or tighten these, I would then use the proper Allen, but... Okay, so I can see that this cover is actually almost like a JB Weld or something. It looks like, oh yeah, actually... So not only that, but it's got rivets. Oh. So you can see on the back, there's some rivets coming through and a kind of a plate to hold them together. So that's okay. Unfortunately, the made in Japan, I would guess, would be there. Is wrecked. But I actually might have a spare one of these. I'm not sure. But for the most part, you don't see it anyways because the crack's not... If the crack was up here, that'd be a little different, but down here is not so bad. So let's go ahead and put the bolts back in. So right away, something I didn't notice last time, we have this little green, almost like a gasket that's broken, hanging out. So that's something to look into. Sprocket looks good. No, doesn't look too worn, no big chips, nothing like that, so that's nice. And it rolls pretty freely in neutral. Now, this is just finger tight, so I can take that right off. I'm going to leave that on right now, but we'll take that off when the engine is on the stand. So let's go ahead and attack these mounts. Okay, so the bolt on the other side is a 1/2 inch. Both of the wrench and the socket both fit perfect. This has been chowdered so bad, and it's almost rounded, that I really can force a 12mm on it, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do, because I really don't have another choice. First motor mount bolt out. So it's pretty long. Actually, the bolt looks in pretty good shape, although the threads, I don't know if it'll pick it up because I can't see the viewfinder very good. Threads have been pretty much goosed. I'll probably try to replace this because I don't really trust those threads. I mean, considering it's one of 3 and it's the smaller one, it's not the end of the world, but I'm wondering if that has anything to do with how badly chowdered this nut is. But I guess we'll never know, and we can just move forward. So I'm gonna leave this aside because I'll put that back. Let's find out what... Now these guys are bigger. This guy looks... Yeah, that's a 1/2 inch. And that's a 1/2 inch. Not very tight. Okay. So also, I find it a bit curious that on this guy up here, the nut was on the left side, and on this one, the nut was on the right side. So that's interesting. This washer is actually cut off on one side to be able to fit up against that frame rail. Yeah, that's neat. Cool. Other than being dirty, the threads actually look really, really good on that guy. And the nut looks pretty good as well. So that's a good sign. But like I said, it facing the other way probably means nothing, probably means something, I don't know. Alright, last but not least, the biggin. So that's interesting. So that's just a bolt. That doesn't have a nut on the outside. That just threads in somewhere. At least that I couldn't see on the outside. You know what? It's probably behind a cover. Oh Lord. I guess we will see. But there's all 3 out. So at that point, let's move some tools. There. Let's just see. Oh. It slides. I'm gonna have to pull it straight up, I guess. And then, there we go. Okay, so let's just make sure there's no wires or hoses that get caught. There we go. And up on the stand. Okay, so we've got it on the bench. Just got a couple pieces of wood here to raise that up. That's good enough. Ooh. Nice and oily. Yeah, so what maybe I'll do is I'm going to make a small stand for this so I can drain the oil. And then, but I won't do that on camera. And then next video, we can start tearing this thing apart. So thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, enjoy your bacon.